And it's chapter 7, February, 5 months until the ceremony. Okay, camera's fixed, sorry about that. How about the one on marine life? Seen it. Rainforests? Seen it 3 times. You're in a strange mood. Agnes scratches the new haircut that Megan said makes her look like a cancer patient. I'm bored. This weekend is lasting forever. I'm going to watch the marine one. Call me back if you change your mind. Agnes, I say before she turns off video chat, don't mention this to the others. I don't want them to know that I still watch the Nature Channel. But you do watch the Nature Channel, she answers slowly. Yes, but I don't want anyone else knowing that. Who cares? She rubs her head again. Her hair is so short now that you can see her pink scalp peeking through. She'll have to check that attitude at the door when she becomes a chastity. You should just be yourself, Frida. I switch the chat off and stare at my reflection in the blank screen. I was myself with Isabel. Breakfast, gym, organised recreation, lunch, gym, organised recreation, dinner, iPad, bed, breakfast, gym, organised recreation, lunch, gym, organised recreation, dinner, iPad, bed. To break the monotony, I sneaked into Kara's room after dinner on Saturday, but I was swiftly hunted out by Chastity Teresa. I don't understand how Isabel and I got away with it, breaking isolation for all those years. The Chastity always seemed to look the other way when she was involved, but now I'm without her. I'm vulnerable. My anger with her thickens in my chest, as heavy as a rock. By Sunday afternoon, I feel as if I'm drowning in boredom. I've seen all the nature shows they are streaming on TV, and all that's left is reality show repeats. Wives of Eurozone, Wives of America's Zone, Euro Wives versus America's Wives battle to the death. I'm yoking, yeah, I'm yoking. Suck it down, 'cause I'm yoking. The newest rapper from the Americas, Little Pete's video is on Rap TV. He's standing on a huge gold-plated throne, a crown on top of his spiky red hair. He has numerous leashes on his hands, like reins, extending to diamond-studded collars wrapped around the necks of 5 naked blonde concubines at his feet. They're kneeling on all fours, glossy mouths slack, until it's time to sing the chorus. You're my king, little Pete, you're my king. I upload the video to my face. Within minutes, I can hear the other girls joining in, voices floating out of the open cubicles. You're my king, little Pete, you're my king. Sorry, that's the last of the rap, I swear. Megan comments under the video that little Pete looks so like Cynthia, and Cynthia thanks her, bravely pretending that it was a compliment. 10 minutes later, Cynthia uploads a slew of new photos, her thick red hair cut in uneven layers, her chest barely restrained, in a floral bikini top. Oh my father, look how fat I am, she squeaks. The screen starts flashing, video comment after video comment popping up, denials oozing like tar. Please, Frida comments, pulling up a silver mesh sweater to display a concave tummy. If you think that's fat, I'm practically obese. This is the same girl who told me at dinner yesterday that she lost 5 pounds. I can't help it, she sighs, throwing her napkin over an uneaten pig chop. I just can't stand the taste of in vitro meat. As if we've ever had any other kind. It's just another excuse for her to limit her KCLs. I said nothing, silently planning a restricted KCL menu of my own. Cynthia is so fat in these photos. Her hip. Sorry, I don't know. Cynthia's so skinny in these photos, her hip bones jutting out through her porcelain skin. She's only ranking number 24, though. There's no way she's going to be a companion. Thankfully, Megan said when the subject came up before, all that red hair is so unnecessary, don't you think? I jumped to my feet with barely contained anxiety, pacing back and forth. I pull poses in my mirrors, turning to one wall and then the next, reaching into my locker to grab my digicam. A photo of me reclining on the bed, a photo of me in high-waisted PVC leggings and a crop top, a photo of me in metallic silver bikini. Welcome to your face or mine. Upload. I scan the digicam barcode against the screen. Complete, the ePad says. Would you like to play? The screen splits in two, a face on either side. They look a lot younger, maybe about 8 or 9. I don't recognize them. We try not to pay too much attention to the younger Eves coming up after us, with their fresher skin and their brighter eyes, snapping at our heels. The one on the left has light brown hair, dip-dyed so that the ends are blonde. I prefer the girl on the right, her smile, whittling dimples in her smooth black skin and making her bronze eyes glint with haughtiness. You're the first person today to choose Tahani as your preference. Jessica's face has been preferred 50 times today. Of course it has. I stare at myself in my mirrors, imagining taking a, gr- a grater to my skin, peeling off the top layer. My bones might be white enough. So after I experimented with a smoky eye using gold shades, I then tried a grey smoky eye instead. Daria says as we line up for the Be Better buffet in the nutrition centre. I think it looks better than the normal black smoky eye. I took photos if you want to see them. Did you? Megan asks, although Daria updated her status on my face an hour ago, telling us this, accompanied by said photos. She looks critically at her. I think I prefer black smoky eye personally, no offence. She grabs her tray and goes to Chastity Ann to collect her meds. Daria's hand darts up as if she's going to wipe her eyes clean before she forces her face into a neutral expression. I went on Your Face or Mine today, I say, watching as Megan takes her usual seat and swerves to admire herself in the mirrored walls. I came third out of 100 faces. That's great, Frida, Cara says, her face lighting up in a genuine smile. Why don't you post it on my face? Probably embarrassed, Jessie cuts in, throwing a dish from the 0KCL section into your chipped tray. I was on Your Face or Mine today too. I didn't even bother uploading a photo. It's because these photos were lame, Liz says, lifting the lid on her tureen and gagging at the putrid smell of cabbage soup. Kids in 8th year don't count. Cara and Daria are holding their breath, waiting to see how I'll respond, but my mind goes blank. The twins snicker as they walk away to join Megan. It does too count, I call after them, hurrying to catch up. They sit next to Megan, filling her in on our argument. I can feel my temper start to rise, and I breathe deeply to control myself. Only weak girls show emotion. Meg, I love that bag. Cara changes the subject hastily as we sit down. Thanks, Megan says, stroking her snake patterned tote. It's only fake, though. What do you think, Frida? Yeah, very nice, I say, glancing up from my salad. Isabel has a clutch, doesn't she? Real snakeskin, I mean. Megan's face turns thoughtful when I nod yes. Those are so rare. Where did you get it? I shrug, taking a bite of the tasteless greens. I surreptitiously scan the room until I find her, sitting by Chastity Ruth's desk. All of the Isabels are supervised now. All of Isabel's meals are supervised now, yet her body is still swollen beneath her baggy black dress. She's staring blankly at the solitary apple on her plate. You should prove it, Frida, Megan says, catching me off guard. Prove what? That the results of uh, today's Your Face or Mine are valid. How am I supposed to do that? We'll have another contest. Tonight. Where? Jessie asks, shaking her hair out of its ponytail and nudging Liz to do the same so they're identical again. Not in the dorms. There isn't enough room for all of us to fit in one cubicle. Megan bites her lip in concentration. I know. We'll do it in the garden. What about isolation? I ask. Chastity Bernadette is on tonight. Chastity Bernadette is rarely on night duty because as soon as the lamps are turned off, she starts dozing. You can hear her snores rumbling through the dorms within an hour of bedtime. We're sorted, right? Megan says, as I silently plead with one of the others to object. Frida, you send an invite on my face. Send it to all of final year. Me? I'm sorry, do you have an issue with that, Frida? She emphasizes my name, drawing out the syllables, making it sound like a curse. I want to say no. I want to say no so badly, but she's looking at me. They're all looking at me now, a mixture of disdain and pity in their eyes. They don't think I have the courage to do it. They think I'm the most boring person in our class. They're probably wondering how Isabel managed to put up with me as long as she did. Megan rolls her eyes to heaven, Jessie and Liz immediately copying her. Cara is doing her best not to get involved, scanning through photogram. Uh, Freya discreetly spits out her chewed out veggies, placing the napkin next to her plate, the sticky mess seeping onto the table. My chest swells with fear. I can hear my voice saying, yeah, yeah, of course I'll do that. And I know that I'm really saying, please like me, please like me. And I hate myself so much, but they're all smiling again, and I feel relieved and stupid at the same time. It'll be fine. I'll just write the message in code. If I don't use the words party, gathering, or unsupervised, the filter should pick up on it. Liz and Jessie get to their feet, squealing, running to wrap their tanned limbs around me, giving me one of their infamous twin sandwiches for the first time. Warmth spreads through my limbs. I realize everyone is watching us. They're a little jealous of me, like they used to be. Quieten down, girls, Chastity Teresa calls without enthusiasm, and the twins skip back to their seats. So, invite everyone, yeah? Megan continues in a low voice. Except Isabel, obviously. Obviously, the twins giggle uproariously. But if we get caught, it might be useful to have her there, Cara points out. The Chastitys love her. She'd never get in trouble. No. A thick vein pulses in Megan's forehead. I don't want her there. Yeah, we don't want her there either, Liz and Jessie repeat. Is that going to be a problem? Megan asks me, raising one eyebrow. No. I feel an awful excitement at being the favourite for once. The thrill of being preferred to Isabel squirming in my belly. Of course not. I am a good girl. I am appealing to others. I am always happy and easygoing. Every nerve in my body is fizzling as I listen to the messages drone on. Chastity Bernadette has been snoring since 10:45, but I warned everyone to wait until midnight, or the witching hour, as I hinted in my stupid message. Some of the girls weren't keen, but once I told them it was Megan's idea, any doubts disappeared. 11:58 p.m. I steal out of bed as quickly as I can, wrapping my lilac dressing gown around me. I peek my head out of the cubicle, and I see other girls doing the same, a row of floating heads. Megan is at the main door of the dorms, signaling to the rest of us to follow. We scurry like mice after her through the cloisters until we fall into the garden, laughing breathlessly. She leads us around the plastic trees to a patch of lime green grass enclosed by a ring of poppy flowers. We gather inside the circle, just inside the poppy flower border. 29 girls in sheer kimonos, like geishas from old Japan. It's freezing out here, Freya complains, goosebumps mottling her skin. She rubs her thighs thoroughly, her fingertips dipping to the hollows just above her knees. I swing my legs in front of me too, but they don't seem to be as skinny as hers. I shouldn't have finished all of my tofu burger tonight. I wasn't even that hungry. Liz ate her tofu burger too, but she didn't have any relish. I had 2 dollops of relish. Megan ate most of her chick and noodle broth. Is that more or less KCL's? What was that voice, saying I'm a good girl, over and over again? Jessie and Liz ask, in turquoise robes that match their eyes. You've never heard the nighttime messages before, I say. They shrug, a lock of blonde hair emerging from both messy top knots at the same time. I don't know why I'm surprised. They've probably never had a disrupted night's sleep in all their vapid lives. Megan clasps her hands, and we all fall silent. So, everyone welcome to my little midnight feast. She subtly emphasizes the my, but not enough that I can call her out on it. Not that I would anyway. I take a deep breath, trying to remember what we learned in the unacceptable emotions class. Anger is ugly. Nice girls don't get angry. I picture my irritation as a big red balloon bursting through my stomach, leaving a gaping hole behind. To celebrate, I have a surprise for you girls. Megan rifles through her shoulder bag, the same colour as her kimono. She looks particularly beautiful tonight, her hair piled in a thick top knot, that pale skin luminous in the artificial moonlight. She pulls out a large jar of choco with a ta-da, and some of the others spontaneously applaud. Put those away, Megan says to Jessie and Liz as they aim digicams at her. This can't go on my face. Not on my face, but no. Megan cuts them dead, glaring until they put their digicams back in their pockets. It must be like tonight never happened. She brandishes the choco bar. Now, Christy, you're not to eat it all. It's to share. Christy attempts a weak smile as she tugs her kimono down, pretending she can't see Freya staring at her soft thighs with open disgust. No one stands up for her, not when Megan's making the joke, and especially not after what happened with Chastity Ruth in comparison studies. I pick a cotton flower from the ring of poppies surrounding us, noticing a little caterpillar down a single red petal in a red and black leopard print. I hold it closer to find my reflection in the mirrored bud. I want to see if my skin is as incandescent as Megan's in the moonlight. Megan unpeels the wrapper, the smooth brown bar emerging tantalizingly slowly. I can feel myself salivating. I can't remember the last time I had choco. I don't. I know some of the other girls occasionally treat themselves at the weekend, ipecac syrup at the ready, but after what happened with Isabel, I've been trying to be a good girl. In some ways, we're as much associated with one another as the twins are, and I don't want the others to see me eating choco and thinking I'm disgusting too. After Megan has bitten off a tiny piece, she passes it to Jessie on her left. No, sugar is poison, Jessie says, holding it by the tip as if it's burning her fingers. She tuts loudly as Liz takes a nibble. Jessie must be on the starvation cycle of her diet. Next week, she'll be in the shoveling cakes down her throat, 2 at a time, before clawing her way back on the wagon the following day. On the choco bar goes the circle. On the choco bar goes the circle. That's how it's written, passed reverently from girl to girl. Freya takes a bite, chews it for a few seconds, then spits it into a tissue, some of the slime leaking onto her fingers. She wipes it absent-mindedly on her robe, brown streaks smudging the faded rose print. Oh, Freya, you look like Agnes after she'd had that accident in the chamber. Liz clasps her hands in delight as Freya tries to rub the choco off, leaving an ugly smear across the silk. At least Freya didn't actually shit herself, Darius smirks. Agnes flushes to her peroxide blonde roots, drawing her knees to her chest as if to protect herself. It wasn't my fault. Chastity Ann prescribed too much Exolax in weight management that day, she protests, her words lost in laughter. And I was only 6. Can we just get on with it? I grab the choco from Freya and crack a piece off before passing it to Agnes. I force it down my throat, barely tasting it. I lean back on my heels, my mind stirring with images of Freya's hollow thighs, looking at the ceiling covered with star-filled navy digital wallpaper, a full moon printed in an odd mustard colour. The edges of the sky bend into thick steel walls, curving into air ducts with ventilation pipes that suck in and pump air in the school, recycling our oxygen. I can feel their breath now inside me. We're a part of each other. The Choco Bar is still on its journey around the circle, and we watch each other carefully, comparing the size of our own bite to each other's. When it returns to Megan, half the bar is left, and she offhandedly throws it down in front of her. Now that our naughty treat is done, she says, ignoring our hungry eyes glued to the remaining choco, I think it's time to begin the main event. She reaches into her tote bag again and takes out an empty bottle of Euro Cola, placing it in the middle of the circle. As you know, the reason we're here is because there's some controversy over the reliability of today's Your Face or Mine. Yeah, although seventh years don't count, Angelica says, pursing her plump lips. For the last time, I snap, they weren't all. So, we're going to do a face-to-face version. Egan's voice is cold at the interruption, and I bite my tongue. Whichever two people the bottle lands on, we'll go around the circle one by one, saying which face we prefer. Got it? There's a current of edginess in the group, nervous at the thought of being so openly honest. We make comparisons constantly, of course, but in private, protected behind the anonymity of our computers. Isabel and I used to spend hours on Saturday afternoon video chatting, talking about which girls in our year we thought were the prettiest. Isabel frowning when she thought I was being too mean. Well, I think Agnes has great eyes, she would say, when I called her cropped hairstyle masculine. Freya's too skinny, she would agree, when I would gripe about her flaunting those gaunt arms. Isabel was being genuine. She thought Freya was too thin, unlike me, who secretly envied her. Every popping bone felt like an affront to my own lack of discipline. Yeah, it's so gross, isn't it? I say eagerly. She'd answer noncommittally. She's great taste in clothes, though. That feathered skirt she wore today was awesome. Isabel would always find the best in every situation. When I was ranked 3 to her number 1, she would insist that I was just as pretty as she was, listing all the things about my appearance that she liked. I'd examined myself in the walls of our video chats, and I would feel a tiny glimmer of hope. Suddenly I miss her so much that my chest feels as if it might rupture with grief. What did I do that was so bad that made her give up on me? The bottle lands on Rosie and Alessandra, and we cast our voices in turn. Rosie, Rosie, Alessandra, Rosie, Rosie. I'm dying, Rosie gasps when she is announced the winner. You're so much prettier than me. No way, Alessandra says. I'd kill for your lips, and blue eyes are cuter, everyone knows that. Megan raises her eyebrow. Blue and green eyes. Yeah, but I much prefer your nose. It's straighter than mine, Rosie says, squeezing the tip of her own perfectly straight nose. Well, at least you're not fat like me. What? Have you seen my thighs? I'm practically veering into Isabel territory, Rosie says, pitching a non-existent thigh fat. She waits, hiding a tiny smile as the garden bursts with dissenting voices. You are so not fat. I'm fat. I'm so fat I should be made obsolete. I gained at least 3 pounds since dinner. I know it. How many kcals were in that choco bar? It's 555 kcal per 100 grams. Uh, but it was a large bar, which is 250 grams approximately. I only had a small bite. How many kcals are in that? I need to pay more attention in calorific calculation class. My blood feels itchy with a compulsion to vomit the choco back up. I see it splash on the ground before me, leaving me clean. Megan spins the bottle again, covering her face with slim fingers and exclaiming, I'm so embarrassed when it lands on herself and Angelina. I've always thought that she and Megan look alike, with her masses of grey, wavy hair and milky pale skin. Angelina would be my personal choice, however. Her feline shaped blue eyes are gorgeous. The twins can start off. They both chose Megan, of course, each girl that follows regurgitating her name without hesitation. We shapeshifters, forever peeking over our shoulders, see what everyone else is doing in order to base our performance on theirs. Freya opts for Megan too, turning to me with an expectant face. Angelina, 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 a voice screaming inside my head, but my tongue feels swollen, absorbing the words I want to say. Sorry, what did you say? I didn't quite catch that. Megan plays coyly with her silk tie of her kimono. Megan, I repeat in defeat, turning to Agnes. She's making a necklace of some poppy flowers, tongue lolling out in concentration. Hey, Augustus, it's your turn, Megan says, throwing contemptuous looks at the others. Augustus, wake up, Augustus. I nudge Agnes, pointing to Megan when she frowns at me for disturbing her jewellery making. I was calling your name, you dumb bitch, Megan says in exasperation. But you didn't say my name. I did. I called you Augustus. But my name is Agnes. Why would you call me Augustus? Agnes isn't being awkward. She honestly doesn't get why someone would call her by a man's name because she has short hair. Whatever, Megan sighs in the end, obviously deciding it wasn't worth explaining it to her. My face or Angeline's. What? What is wrong with you? Megan says, losing her cool. Did they drop you on your head when you were designed? Why do you think we're all out here at midnight? Do you expect us to sing songs and braid each other's hair? We're playing your face or mine. The bottle landed on Angelina and me. Which one of us do you think is the prettiest? Agnes looks from Megan's face to Angelina's and then back to Megan's again. Angelina. She refocuses on her necklace, grabbing another poppy from behind to intertwine with it. Silence fills the domed garden. No one's daring to look at anyone else. What? Megan isn't even attempting to disguise her disbelief. I said I chose Angelina. Irritation colours Agnes's voice at this further disruption. I prefer her lips. You've great lips, Angelina, she says, and Angelina smiles gratefully at this unexpected victory, however small. But, you have a nice personality, Megan. She must be worried that she's hurt Megan's feelings. It's the only explanation I can think of for a blatant lie. That warning vein is throbbing in Megan's forehead again. Her lips so white, it look like they've disappeared. Nice! Nice! Megan shouts. I try to shush her, but she's beyond reason. Yes, you're nice, Agnes lies again, looking perplexed at this reaction. Who cares about nice? I do. I think personality matters. Are you brain dead? Personality does not matter. All that matters is being pretty. You, she stammers with rage, you feminist. There's a horrified gasp. Well, it's true, she says defiantly. Being pretty is all that matters. I quite agree, number 767. We freeze as she moves out of the shadows cast by the plastic trees. Her black robes make her look like a huge crow, about to scavenge through the debris for something to eat. Behind her is Chastity Bernadette, sleepily rubbing her eyes. Oh shit. Being pretty is what's most important. Although I have to say, I feel using the F word is a little excessive, she continues, wearing her calmness like a mask. I can't breathe, terror constricting my lungs. I'm sorry, Chastity Ruth, since you know how important being pretty is, I'm sure you're aware of how important sufficient sleep is to keep your skin in good condition, especially coming up to the ceremony. Yes, Chastity Ruth, we whisper. Words fail me, girls. I'm not often short of words, am I? We make submissive noises. Now let me see. There must be a ringleader. I wonder who it could be. Shit, shit, shit. Did you really think we were going to get away with this, or you were going to get away with this? Get up right now and walk in single file to your dorm. You will not speak to each other. You will not look at each other. I will expect you in my office in the morning to receive your chastisements. She gestures at the quaking Chastity Bernadette. Escort them back to their dorms, if you can manage to stay awake that long. Wait, 6:30, she says as we Eve scramble to our feet, eager to escape. I would like a chat with you. I stop, my heart thumping painfully in my chest. I try to grab hold of Megan's kimono as she passes, but the silk just slips through my fingers. Chastity Bernadette closes the gate tightly behind them, locking me in here with her. Have you anything you would like to say, number 630? She loops around me again and again until I start to feel dizzy. What do you mean? You requested a video chat with every girl in our year this evening. That's an interesting coincidence, isn't it? She stands before me. She's not tall, but it feels like she's towering above me, ready to wrap her black veil around me and devour me. Every girl except Isabel. Didn't you used to be best friends? Or did she get sick of you? She continues in the moonlight, glinting on her grey eyes. I wanted to tell her that this wasn't my idea, but I can't. My life will be a living nightmare if I get Megan into trouble. I need her now. I'm not brave enough to do this by myself. Do you have anything you'd like to say for yourself, number 630? No, I say, and she looks so angry that I draw back, afraid she might touch me, hit me, leave a scar. But she would never do that. The Chastitys are not allowed to damage the father's investments. I don't even want to look at you, you useless piece of garbage. A malevolent grin stretches across her face, her teeth like a row of tombstones. I will give you your chastisement tomorrow, number 630. I need some time to think of something extra special, just for you. And that's the end of chapter 7. Thank you for listening, and I'll get that uploaded soon.